Yo, guys, how's it going? Rob here. Today we're going to be talking about how to increase your win-loss ratio in multiplayer. So let's first start off by talking about why your win-loss ratio is so low. First, we're going to talk about factors that are out of your control. Number one, you happen to get low-skilled teammates. Now, when you join games solo, there's a chance that you're going to get, some low-skilled players. They actually might play the objective and try and capture flags or hard points, but they're kind of just running around the map aimlessly and not really getting that many kills, not really contributing too much to the score of the game, and not providing any kill streaks or any communication. They're usually just playing with their TV audio, stuff like this. Number two, you could get high skilled teammates that are not team players. So they are good at the game, but they're only worried about their kill death ratio, and they don't really care about winning the game or not. They actually are the ones that don't care too much about their win-loss ratio. And they will happen to join team-based game modes. And like Domination, for example, they'll cater towards that because it's a pretty long match. And they'll just play it and just go for kill streaks and kills. And, that's fine. That's good, but it doesn't help your situation out if you're trying to increase your win-loss ratio. So that's something that's out of your control. The third factor is matchmaking. Matchmaking in Modern Warfare could straight up fuck you over. It could give you literally the hardest enemy team you've ever played, or it could give you the worst. It's really it's a dice roll. And what I find in this game is enemy teams are usually the same skill as you, the player, especially if you're playing solo. If anything, you're probably going to find players a little bit worse than you, just because it's usually you're playing against maybe a party and one person in their party is as good as you, and then they're playing with their friends and their friends aren't good as them, and you're playing against their friends, but it doesn't cater down, if that makes sense. Okay, now let's talk about factors that are in your control. Factor number one that's in your control: playing team-based game modes solo. Now, essentially what you're doing when you're playing solo is you're rolling the dice on who your teammates are going to be. Like we were talking about before, you're basically, by choosing to play solo, you're basically taking factors in that are out of your control, and that could basically lower your odds of winning the game. Factor number two is playing team-based game modes without a mic. So this kind of ties into factor one that's in your control, but if you're playing solo and you're playing without a mic as well, then you're even in a worse position, because now you might have good teammates and they might have mics, but you don't have a mic, so you can't communicate with them and make call outs and collaborate and try and strategize as well. Or you might have a team with no mics at all in general, no one's communicating. The third factor that's in your control is using kill streaks that are only benefiting yourself, and not using kill streaks that benefit the whole team. Kill streaks, for example, that this could relate to is personal radar. I know it can have indirect benefits to the team, but I'm talking about direct effects. A personal radar is, in the name, personal. It's for yourself. It's just providing yourself with intel about where the enemy players are. And this is kind of a selfish move. You could run a UAV instead, which is a 4-kill streak, and your whole team is going to be able to see where the enemies are, as opposed to just yourself. So that's just a quick example. Another factor that's not in your control is not playing the objective and only going for kills. A lot of players choose to do this. I do it too. It's just, if you're trying to get your win-loss ratio up, then you gotta go for the objective. That's simple as that. Another factor in your control is poor class setup. You're not adjusting your class for specific game modes, and you're just using, your generic class or a YouTuber class that you just found out about that's supposed to be really good and not catering to the different game mode you're playing. Like, there's so many different game modes in the game, and I'm telling you right now, like, each game mode, I adjust my class for every game mode. I don't really adjust it necessarily, actually. I usually have a game mode class set up for each game mode if I'm playing pubs. So I'll have a search and destroy class, hardpoint class, for example. And last but not least, another factor that's in your control, it can be a little bit cutthroat, but it's choosing to play with bad teammates. you know, you might have some people on your friends list that like playing Call of Duty and they'll want to play with you because you're a good player, or, you know, you're friends with them. And that's fine. But if you're trying to get your win-loss ratio up and you're really desperate, then maybe just, you know, play on your own time, get it up. And then when you're playing with them, maybe switch to another account or try and limit your time if you're really serious. But at the end of the day, it's just Call of Duty. We play this for fun. You know, do what you will with that last one. All right, and now let's get into the solutions. Solution number 1, play solo game modes. There's no point of playing team-based game modes. I know they're a lot of fun, but if you're trying to get your win-loss ratio up, what you need to do is you need to go into free-for-all and mercenary mosh pit. This puts all of the effort on yourself. You are in complete control in that game mode, in these game modes. The only way you're going to get fucked over in a solo game mode is if the matchmaking is really bad and gives you really difficult enemies. But this rarely happens. Like I was saying before, you're usually matched with people even skilled to you. And at the end of the day, if you're not good enough to keep your win-loss ratio up, then that's just the facts. Like that's what you're going to get. Your win-loss ratio is going to be true. It also, playing solo game modes eliminates the factor of rolling the dice on bad or good teammates. You know, at the end of the day, this is pure skill. If you're a really good player and you know it, play solo game modes. Solution number 2, playing gunfight is kind of like dipping our toes into the water of the team-based game modes. It's basically a game mode where you have one teammate. So let's say you are playing solo and you queue up. You only have to worry about one teammate, and you know your odds of getting a good or bad teammate is, you know, a lot better because you only have to worry about one person if you just simple mathematics there. As well, like if you're a good player, I know this, and I'm sure a lot of other good players know this, you can usually carry your bad teammate in gunfight because worst case scenario, you could turn that into a 1v2, and if you're good enough, you can usually beat the 1v2. And like I was saying before, a lot of players that queue up into gunfight play with a teammate, even though you might not be. Usually their teammate's not going to be as good as them, and usually the player that's the best on the enemy team is your even playing field, and then the second player they're with is usually worse than you. So really you're versing like 1.5 players at that point, not to be harsh. Or you can queue up with a friend, and at least you guys can communicate, and you know, you don't have to worry about other teammates again, just limiting the factors that are out of your control, and you know, really just putting your skill on the line in that case. Okay, solution number 3, wear a mic. It's pretty simple, guys. Wearing a mic just increases communication, lets teams work together and strategize and, you know, share intel. Also, it can improve your awareness of the battlefield, like including things like footsteps, and that can create, you know, better opportunities for you. If you hear people coming, you can tell teammates, you know, that you hear footsteps by you, and they can come and assist you, stuff like this. Another quick tip too, actually, is, well, you don't necessarily need to wear a mic even if you have your TV audio on. Just play with audio. I don't know if that's a thing if people don't play with audio, but I don't know. What you need to do is listen for callouts of your position. And what I'm talking about here is when you kill someone, especially in like search and destroy, you can hear the enemy battle chatter, I think it's called, and you can hear your enemy that you killed for a little bit. If you're in game chat. If you're in party chat on like PlayStation, you can't hear this, but if you're in game chat, you can hear them make, you know, a little bit of noise. You hear their mic for a little bit, like I think like 3 seconds maybe. And a lot of times what I noticed is you'll hear them call out your position to their teammate. And if you hear that, you can confirm, okay, 9 out of 10 times, the teammate that they're telling your position to is going to go and check out your position that you were last at. So what you can do with this intel is just move to another position or better advantageous position, and, you know, set up to be ready for that guy when he comes over to see where you are. Guess what, buddy? I'm not there anymore. All right, so solution number 4, play the objective. You know, you got to play the objective when you're playing team-based game modes. That's how you win the game. In these team-based game modes, you don't win by getting kills. You know, some are like TDM is really the only game mode like this. And if you want to play TDM, that's fine. But if you're looking to play domination, search, anything like that, can't be focusing on kills. You got to put, you got to make your goal capture time. You got to make your goal time on the hill, flags captured, tags captured, etc. All these have to be above getting kills. And again, run kill streaks that add more value to your team, like that UAV. Emergency airdrop is good. Also, make sure you're customizing your classes to cater to which game you're playing. Don't forget that, because that's a big thing. And I think I'm going to come out with a video later explaining, or maybe me creating a class for each particular game mode, making a couple classes just to help you guys out there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for me today. If you want to see more videos, give me some ideas down in the comments. I don't just have these ideas floating around my brain. It takes me a while to come up with any, just because I think I've been playing Call of Duty for so long that I just honestly, when I play, I feel like I just play on autopilot. All these like strategies are just, in my flow state, if that makes sense. Sounds a little nutty, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.